Christmas!
So, 2020's been a hell of a year, hasn't it? I mean, I'm sure none of us really expected the kind of nonsense and chaos that we would be going through coming with the new decade. Or, hell, even with this brand new century, it's probably been one of the most chaotic years that we've had since the turn of the new millennium. But, with all that said, you know, it's now December, Christmas time is here, and just so long as we abide by the best health protocols that we can abide by in order to help get through this whole thing as soon-ish as possible, it's still Christmas, still perfect time to celebrate with loved ones, whether it be in person or whether it is by Zoom calls or Skype or whatever. So, as long as we can continue with that, Christmas should still be fine. Now, I talk about 2020 like that mostly because this has been the first time ever really, that I've decided to take on a certain challenge regarding with my Pokemon career that I've never really done before, and that being Nuzlocke. Now, I've kind of wanted to do Nuzlocke before for the longest time, but a part of me kind of felt like it would be a better thing to do with an audience. And with that said, you know, sort of a Twitch link down below if you want to come watch me live sometime, but just saying. You know, I wanted to do them live mostly just because I feel like doing it that way with an audience, or even with just a perceived audience, felt like it would be a better thing to do rather than to just try to do it on my own. So, you know, I had to find a way to actually do that. And within this year, I have finally been able to properly find the means of being able to record Nuzlocke properly. So, you know, everyone else is kind of like, you know, down to dumps, trying to find stuff to distract them or whatever. While I myself, not to boast, have had a not bad 2020 myself, but I'll talk about that another time. But, you know, I've been feeling pretty good, so I decided to take on this Nuzlocke challenge. And oh boy, what a way to bring me right down to the dumps, isn't it? So to sort of set the stage a little bit, this is coming from my very, very first Nuzlocke that I decided to stream, which was Pokemon Emerald. I kind of only wanted to do like Generation 3 or higher, just because I feel like the basis and complexity of Pokemon's combat really and truly begins at Generation 3, despite how much I actually do like Generation 2. The first two generations are a little archaic and a little too crazy when it comes to his combat. So I kind of wanted to try Emerald at the very least and go from there, just because it was the only cartridge of a Gen 3 game that I had at the time. So I decided to go with Emerald, and through the luck of my dice rolls, I did manage to get my absolute favorite starter in Mudkip. So things were going really good, but I was a little worried, mostly because the first time that I played through Emerald, which was from last year, I'd actually lost to Brawly and had a somewhat difficult time just playing through casually. So I was kind of worried to see how far I would kind of get. But fortunately, up to this point in this video at least, I'd actually been able to get through Roxanne and Brawly all fairly well, and I even managed to reach Smallville without any casualties. I was doing really well. And I had a Marshtomp at this point, and I just figured, you know what? I'll clear out the enemy trainers all around here, and I should just be set to go to take on this gym, which I technically should have been. Marshtomp was a higher level than pretty much all of Watson's team. It really should have been a walk in the park. Until... What's that you say? You got past all the doors? Yes, I'm standing right in front of you. So yeah, didn't really know it 100% at the time, but by abiding through normal Nuzlocke rules, I had gotten a game over. I had wiped it out, and that was it. All because of the stupidest, luckiest self-destruct I have ever seen in my life. Wow. Now, I say all this as in, like, oh, I hate Nuzlocke, I'll never do it again. I do enjoy it. I know that I'm probably not technically the right type of person to get into Nuzlocke, since I do prefer the adventure, the creating my own characters and getting attached to them, and then losing them is usually kind of hard. But I have also been getting into Fire Emblem. Well, not just getting into it. I've been into it for a long time. But playing that game has tons of characters, characterized characters, that you get attached to, so you try not to let them get killed. And it's sort of the same idea in a way, and I kind of like that, like, four-dimensional thinking that you have to do throughout all this. So I do enjoy doing them, even if I do get dicked around. What made it worse was that sometime later, after I had finished up with that Emerald run, I just slapped the cartridge into my Game Boy Advance just to see what would see if Marshtomp would live through not a critical self-destruct, but just a regular self-destruct. See if it would live it. And Voltorb never used it. It used Sonic Boom. And then I proceeded to sweep the rest of the gym like nothing ever happened. God damn it, I should have let that Celebi snap happen all over again. Ugh. Anywho, see you in the next video. Happy holidays.